back to my channel. So for today's video, I am more than excited because we are playing with a brand new palette that just hit the market not that long ago. And can anybody guess what palette we're playing with? I mean, of course, the title gave it away. But still, do you know which one? We're gonna be playing with the brand new Jaclyn Hill palette, Volume 2 in collab with Morphe. Yay! I am so excited, you guys, to play with this palette. You have no idea. When I got the palette, I did buy it with my own money, by the way. When I opened up the palette, it literally, my eyes opened like this wide. They got so big, and I was like, oh, all the colors were screaming my name. I literally wanted to dig in and play with it like right away as soon as I got it. She came out with her this palette, the first one, and this is the palette. Sorry, it's a little dirty and it's been through some things. So this is the first palette that she collaborated with Morphe, and I honestly, it's weird because like with this palette, the only colors that I usually would play with a lot were the browns and the black. Of course, I didn't really touch these colors very much, to be honest. This one's right here. But the bronzy, more brown, reddish colors are definitely the ones that I would normally use a lot. I did also use this green, this hunter green one too. I would normally just grab this palette for a lot of my brides because it's honestly more neutrals. There's just more colors to actually play with and create. With this palette, I'm like, yes girl, this palette, I'm like, it is so me. I feel like this one is perfect. I'm glad they did a volume 2 because these colors literally scream out my name. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that I love creating really colorful looks and play with eyeshadow. So this palette literally gave me all the pinks, the purples, the oranges, the reds, but you also have a section where there are looks that you can actually create more bronzy, more subtle, and you don't have to go as crazy. So my goal today is to actually do 2 looks for you guys, one on each eye. I really want to get into doing a bronzy look, and then I really want to do something very colorful. I am going to look really weird at the end of the video, but I'm just giving you guys a heads up on what I'm going to be doing today. Let's go ahead and roll the clip so you guys can see the swatches, and let's get started. I am obsessed with the packaging, you guys. I love the glossy finish. I feel like it looks more aesthetically pleasing, and if it gets dirty, you can clean off the eyeshadows versus with the first one, it's more paper, so it gets dirty. So here we have all of the eyeshadows, 35 eyeshadows. We have some mattes, shimmer, some satin, and then this palette runs for $39. If you definitely love warmer tones, you will definitely love this palette. If you're more of a cool tone eyeshadow girl, then I would definitely say skip out on this because there is a lot of warm going on in the palette, but I think it's absolutely gorgeous. The palette does not have a mirror, but that doesn't bother me personally, and can we please thank Morphe for adding the names underneath the eyeshadows? Hallelujah. Let's go ahead and swatch row number 1. The first shade I'm going to swatch is called Certified. It's a nice matte pearl, bony color, and then we have I'm In It. It's a satin eyeshadow, and I love this for the inner corner. And next we have Love Handles. That's a matte eyeshadow, and then we have Comfort Zone, another beautiful transition shade. And then we have Perfectionist, which I feel like would be one of my favorites actually to do transition. And then we have Ride or Diamonds. I love the shimmery color. And then we have Thick Skin, a nice matte terracotta. So that is row number 1. Now it's time for row number 2. The first shade is called No Joke, this nice matte bright yellow. And then we have Talia, this really pretty shimmery gold shade. And then we have Feeling Myself, another matte tangerine orangey color. And then we have Homebody, another matte. And excuse my husband, he's killing my video right now. Oh my god. And then we have Get Ready With Me. It's a shimmery natural copper shade. Bougie, another shimmery shade. And then the final shade in that row is called Drama Queen. It's another pretty shimmery pink champagne color. These 3 last shimmery shades, you guys, they kind of remind me of the Friendcation by Dose of Colors when they collab with Desi. That one shade that was called Just a Kiss, these 3 remind me so much when you use your fingers on the lid. It gives you like a nice wet glittery finish, which I love. Moving on to row number 3, we have the first shade, which is called Flawed and Odd. And then we have G Money. This color literally made me weak to my knees. And then we have Positivity. Hopefully I'm saying that right. This nice neon orange. Next we have My Man, and then the next shade, you guys, was supposed to be Grateful, but I think I don't know why I missed that shade. Literally, I think I swatched My Man twice, so forgive me for that. Next we have Heart On. This color is so beautiful. This next one, you guys, called Living My Best. Love, love, love. I literally want this all over my eyelids. Row number 4, we have A Moment, a nice shimmery lilac color. This next one, you guys, called Therapy Sesh. It's a matte orchid. I love it. So beautiful for the spring. And then we have Lolly Mama, a matte fuchsia. Next we have Tipsy Girl, a matte hot pink. And then we have Empowered, and it's a shimmery raspberry jam shade. And then we have the shade called Next, a matte sangria, and then this last color, you guys, called Dance Party, a matte fruit punch shade. So beautiful. I love this entire row, you guys. It's my favorite pinks and magentas. I love. The final row, row number 5, we're gonna go ahead and swatch the shade called Stay True, a matte berry shade. And then we have Not My Journey. It's another matte with a little bit of pink sparkle in the eyeshadow. And then we have Good Place, a satin purple. And then we have a Paolo, a shimmery color. This is so pretty. And then we have Oh Hello, a matte black raspberry. And then we have Crazy, a matte darker shade. And then finally we have Temptress, a black with a little bit of sparkle in it as well. And of course, going into the regulars, I'm going to go into my Urban Decay Eden Primer to prep my eyes. And then for the brush, I'm going to start off with my Morphe M433. Okay, so I really want to put these eyeshadows to the test, especially the colorful ones. So I'm going to do on this eye, I'm going to do the most colorful look. And on this one, we'll do the more bronzy, softer eyeshadow look. Okay, so I really want to go into the reds and the purples. If you guys do not want to see that, then you can click out of this video because I love purples and I really, really want to play with them and see how well they work. So for the first one, I'm going to go into this shade called Crazy. So this one right here. Okay, so we're going to place that right in the crease, and I like to pat my eyeshadows in. And I'm thinking of doing kind of like a half cut crease or a halo. I don't know what I want to do just yet, but okay, so far so good. Wow, that is really pigmented. There is some kickback in the palette, so it's totally up to you guys if that bothers you. It doesn't really bother me a lot. Sometimes it actually does because it gets really messy everywhere. But I mean, you can just blow it off or whatever you want to do, but there is some kickback. I'll actually show you guys right now. So there on the red, you can see the one that I'm using right now. Wow, you guys, so this looks really pretty. So far, so good. I hope that it stays this way. Next shade I want to go into is this one right here, and it's called Stay True. Place it right on top of this one right here in the crease to blend out the edges. Woohoo! Okay, Jaclyn. Really want to go into the purple, so I'm gonna go into called Not My Journey, which is the shade right here. And we're still using the same Morphe M433. I have not switched. I can literally do my entire eyeshadow with just one brush, to be honest. I love this brush. So I'm gonna go into Not My Journey and then apply it right underneath the second shade that we just placed to blend both of them out together. So now I wanna go into a little bit of the pink. So I'm gonna go to Tipsy Girl, which is this bright neon pink right here. And I wanna place that a little bit above the shade that we just placed, so like right here. Now you don't have to go as high as I did, you guys, with these eyeshadows. I just really want to see how well they blend, and since we're gonna cut the crease, I really want the colors to show, and I have that lid space, but you don't have to go this high if you don't want to. Alright guys, so far so good. I am loving the way that they're all blending. I'm not seeing patchiness at all. I feel like it's gliding on really nicely. So the Eden primer I feel like is doing such a good job with the eyeshadows, so that makes me feel a little bit better because I'm like, okay, so I can use my Eden primer with this palette. So that's where I'm going to stop with the colors. I'm gonna go ahead and cut my crease, and I'm just thinking of doing a halo eye instead. Using my F75, which you can use code Sandy at checkout and save 10% with Sigma. I'm gonna start to place the Eden primer right in the center, and then we're gonna blend out the edges of the concealer so we can start creating the halo eye. Okay, so for the inner corner right here, I'm gonna go back into the shade called Crazy, which is the first shade we went in with, and start to apply some right here. Just a little bit though, I don't want to go in too in at all. We just want to focus this right in the inner corner. And I'm using a small Morphe brush. This is from the purple set that they came out with. And it's like $10 for like a set of 4, I think. I really love this little brush for the inner corner. I'm also applying more of the shade called Not My Journey, that purple shade, and just smoking it out a little bit more. Blending those two, blending Crazy and Not My Journey together. Okay, I'm gonna go into the shade called I'm In It, which is this color right here. We're gonna place this all over the center of the crease. And I'm using my MAC 248 brush to apply it. And I am going to add actually some setting spray on the brush and then pick up that shade and put it right here, right in the center. I'm gonna go into the Carrot brush, the E28, and I'm gonna go ahead and apply Tipsy Girl, which is that bright neon pink. Do you guys remember that shade? I'm gonna go ahead and pick some of that up, and we're gonna place it right in the outer corner. Going back to my Morphe M433, we're gonna pick up that shade called Crazy again, and just place it towards the outer corner. But we're gonna do some patting motions. And then of course, blend back and forth. I also applied some of that hot pink in the inner corner as well. Then you guys, I'm going into my finger and grabbing a little bit more of I'm In It and start to blend it in my crease, and then applying a little bit towards the hot pink shade so that everything meshes well together. Okay, what do you guys think so far? Let me know down in the comments. What are your thoughts? How do you like this look? I'm obsessed. So I kind of want to go into an orange, this shade right here. I want to go into that just a little bit and put it right here on the top. Still going into that Morphe M433. I'm gonna go ahead and do my foundation first and the rest of my face, and then we will move on to this eye at the end, because since I'm doing something more bronzy, I'm sure I'm not gonna have that much fallout as I thought I was gonna have with this one, since it's more intense. So I'm gonna go ahead and be right back, and then we will finish off this eye and then move on to the other one. Okay, so now for the lower lash line, I'm going to my Profusion, the small firm eyeshadow brush, the ES4, and my Sigma, the E21. And whatever we have on the top lid of our eyes, we're going to bring down and focus those shades towards the bottom lash line. I did also go in, you guys, to a little bit of Temptress, that black matte shade, which it does have a little bit of sparkle in it, but it comes off pretty matte, so it doesn't come off shiny at all. Which I was actually really impressed. But with everything else that we have on the lid, once again, I do bring it towards the bottom lash line. For the inner corner, I'm going into a clean Morphe M433 and applying the shade called I'm In It. Okay, so now I'm going to go into my KKW Beauty black eyeliner. I'm going to apply this in my waterline as well as tide lining my eyes. And then for lashes today, you guys, I wanted something more simple so that way we can still see the eyeshadow peeking through. I'm going to go into Baby Doll from Blanca Flor Mink Lashes. And that's pretty much it, you guys, for look number 1. Now let's go ahead and jump into the bronzy look, which is look number 2. I'm gonna go to my Morphe M506 brush, and I'm gonna go into G Money, which is this eyeshadow. Should we go to G Money? Yeah, let's do G Money. We're gonna go into this eyeshadow right here, and we're gonna go ahead and just place it towards the outer corner like this. Smoke it into the lash line, and then we're gonna push it upwards like this. So it's like I'm going like side to side like this, but going upwards. And then with whatever we have left, you guys, start to buff it in and follow your natural crease. Going into my Morphe M573 and taking a little bit of the shade called Perfectionist, I'm going to start to darken up the outer corner, and then with whatever we have left on the brush, start to buff it in towards the crease and then towards the nose. And now I'm going to go back into another Morphe brush, again from that purple set, and I'm going to go back into the shade called G Money, and just to darken up the crease and then darken up the inner corner as well. and then go back into your, I was gonna say Morphe M433, your Morphe M573. And just start to blend that out with absolutely no product on this brush. We're just gonna start to blend that out. I'm gonna go into the shade called Thick Skin, which is this right here, and just darken up the outer corner like this. I did notice, you guys, that with this palette, she doesn't have like a dark brown. I thought that G Money was gonna be dark enough, but I wish maybe they would have incorporated maybe like maybe taken one of these away and added like a darker brown to smoke out the outer corner a little bit more. I'm gonna go into the old Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm gonna pick up this one to apply some more darkness and more warmth towards the outer corner, and then with whatever I have left, I start to blend it in towards the center and then towards the nose. And then we're gonna go back into the Morphe brush that we're using earlier and take the exact same brown, dark brown color, and then just darken up the crease. Now for the center of my lid, I'm going to go into the shade called Ride or Diamonds and using my MAC 248. And you guys, this color reminded me so much of the Francation palette by Does of Colors, that one shade called Just a Kiss. It really reminded me of that. It's definitely so beautiful and stunning, and it looks wet when it's applied on the lid. I did not apply any Fix Plus or anything like that. This is strictly straight from the pan, and it's gorgeous. For my inner half of my eye, I'm going to go into the shade called Certified, that nice white bone color, and using my MAC I believe it's my 239 brush, and I'm going to apply it right in the inner corner and then blend it in towards Ride or Diamonds eyeshadow. And then I do go back into Ride or Die Diamonds with my finger to blend it in and mesh it with Certified. Going to create a smoked out wing, I'm going to go into my Morphe M506 and picking up that Temptress, which is that black eyeshadow, and start to buff it out towards the outer corner and create a smoked out wing liner. At my MAC 266 and going into the black matte eyeshadow again, and I'm going to take it all the way towards the inner corner, but I want it to be very thin and close to the lash line. For the lower lash line, I'm going to go back into that small detailed Morphe brush and take some more of that black matte eyeshadow and just smoke out the outer corner, connecting it towards the wing that we created on top. Taking another detail brush and picking up more of that shade called Perfectionist and smoke out the lower lash line and smoking it out towards the black eyeshadow. And to highlight the inner corner, I'm going to go into my Morphe S20. It's a pencil brush, and I'm going to go into the shade called I'm In It. For this bronzy look, I'm going to go into my chromographic pencil NC15 by MAC Cosmetics. Instead of going into a black, I'm going to go into this beige color, which really helps to open up the eye a little bit more. Alright ladies, so here we have the other eye, obviously something more neutral, kinda. It's still a little smoky, but it's definitely more wearable than this eye on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off the rest of my face, apply a lippy, and I'll be right back to give you guys my final thoughts on the Jaclyn Hill x Morphe Volume 2. So I'll be right back. Actually, I'm lying. Let's go ahead and do look number 3. I wasn't planning on doing a look number 3, but I was like, why not? I really want to play with the other shades in this palette. So I'm going into a clean Morphe M433 and picking up the shade called Dance Party. And we're going to start off with applying it towards the outer corner first. And then with whatever we have left on the brush, we're going to start to buff it in towards the crease of our eye. Okay, so now I'm going to go into the shade called Heart On, still using my Morphe M433, and I'm going to lay it right next to the shade called Dance Party, which is the first shade that we placed. And then with whatever I have left, I do buff it in towards the Dance Party and blend up, but with whatever I have left. I don't go back in and keep dipping into the eyeshadow. You want to just sit here and really blend and take your time. So I kind of want a more darker outer corner, so I'm going to go into the shade called Crazy. I'm going to go into the shade called My Man, that nice neon orange, and I want to make this eye more interesting and more bright. So I'm going to lay that shade right next to Heart On. And then with whatever I have left on the brush, you guys, I do take it all the way towards the outer corner, so that way all of the colors are really well blended, so that way we can't tell where the color starts or stops. Okay, now I'm going to go into the shade called No Joke, which is that bright yellow, and I'm going to place it right next to the shade called My Man. And again, with whatever I have left, I do take it all the way throughout the eye, but just blending the edges and mesh all of them together. But I felt like this looked so pretty. It's reminding me of a sunset. And I'm very impressed, you guys, on how well all of these eyeshadows are blending out. I was really skeptical. I was like, crap. I'm like, what if the shade called No Joke is patchy and it doesn't come off? But honestly, you guys, the joke's on me. They are blending in really, really well, so I'm very happy. So I still wanted a little bit more darkness towards the outer corner, so I did go into a little bit of the shade called Temptress, that black shade, and a little bit of Crazy and blend those two together. With a clean Morphe M433, I'm going to go into the shade called No Joke again, and then My Man, and start to blend out the edges again. So I started off cutting my crease, and I'm doing a half cut crease. Of course, I'm using the same things that I always use, the Urban Decay Eden Primer and my Sigma F75. Using my Carry T E28 brush, I'm going to go into the shade called Tipsy Girl, and we're going to go ahead and start to apply this towards the outer corner. And of course, to smoke out the outer corner using the same shades called Crazy and a little bit of Temptress, which is the black shade in the palette, and then buff it in towards Tipsy Girl. Using my MAC 239, again, I'm going to go into that bone color called Certified and apply it on the other half of the eye. And then I'm going to go back into a Morphe M433, and I'm going to pick up the shade called My Man, which is that nice bright neon orange, laying that right next to the shade called Tipsy Girl, and then I do blend Tipsy Girl, My Man, and Certified again till I am happy with the outcome. Okay, you guys, so now it's time to apply the colors towards the lower lash line. I'm going into my Sedona EB21 and then my Profusion ES6 brush, and the colors that we use on the top, we're just going to bring them down towards the bottom, and the lashes that I'm wearing are the same pair that I used for the other two looks. In the waterline, I just used that KKW Beauty Black Eyeliner again, and then for the inner corner, I'm going into the shade called I'm In It to highlight. And that's it, you guys. Here are the final 3 looks that I created using this palette. I'm sorry if it felt kind of rushed, but I just didn't want to make this video too long for you guys, but I really wanted to get you guys 3 different looks using this palette. So now let's go ahead and give you guys my final thoughts. On this side, we definitely have a look that's more wearable. It's definitely something that you could wear out to a party. It's not too out there compared to this eye over here, but I love this look. This is perfect for a bride who's getting married. It's very bronzy, and it's something that all of us can really rock. And then we have this eye over here, which is more crazy, more out there. I feel like this is definitely an Instagram eye. But of course, if you want to rock this to a quinceañera, girl, if you're a quinceañera and you want this on your eye, girl, go for it. So the blendability, you guys, I feel like they performed really well, and you guys saw all the other brushes that I used. Like I said, there's not like a darker brown in this palette, but that's okay. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I can always go back to the old Jaclyn Hill palette, or if you guys have a darker brown at home that you can use. I mean, it's like I said, it's not the end of the world. Or you can even mix a little bit of G Money with Temptress, which is the black shade, and mix those two together and maybe get like a dark brown. But I just overall am really, really obsessed with it. The fact that I can create something simple like this, or something more, not simple because it's not simple, but something more wearable like this, and I can also create something like this for fun. It's just making me go back in here and dig and play with it again. And whenever I get that feeling, you guys, then I definitely would recommend this palette to you guys. So again, this palette runs for $39. You can find it at Ulta. You can also find it on Morphe.com. And I think that's it in Morphe stores. And I will link everything down below and dates if I can find those for you guys and see if they are available. So I definitely give this palette a go. Of course, if you have palettes like this, then I would definitely say stay away from it. It's totally up to you, your own personal preference. But that's pretty much it for today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, please let me know down in the comments. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in the next one. Besitos. I'll see you soon. Bye.